Yeah, so say I get like you said, I get the high score. What's like
Hmm.
the pathway for me? Because I know maybe do I want to go traditional now, or do you all help
Yeah.
everything right there? Because I know there's some authors that say, hey, if I got such a high score on the
Hmm.
blacklist, maybe I should
Hmm.
go to either a hybrid or self-publish this. And
Hmm.
what do you think about there?
So the one thing that we're not going to do is we're not like we don't. How can I put this? If you get, let's say you get an 8 or a 9 or a 10, anything 8 or higher, you get an additional free month of hosting and you get 2 free evaluations. If either of those evaluations come back 8 or higher, you get another free month of hosting and 2 more free evaluations. If either of those come back 8 or higher, same thing. We go all the way to 5. Once you get to 5, 8 or higher, then we're like, listen, we get it. You have a dope manuscript. You can host your project on this site for as long as you want for free, but you will not get any more free evaluations. Like you got 5 8s. We'll put we put a gold medallion on those projects when they get multiple 8s like that. And what that does is that raises the visibility even further for industry members who are on the site. And for what it's worth, the folks that writers are querying, most of them are on the site. I can't talk about that publicly, like who specifically,
Yeah.
but I can tell you that a lot of the people that are receiving your queries, they're on the site now. Same thing on the publishing side, they're on the site. Um, it is the site works like a grocery store. It is very much instead of people being hounded in their inbox, and well, in addition to people being hounded in their inbox, they can also decide, you know what, I'm going to go to this storytelling grocery store and I'm going to look for this novel about a Peruvian woman who became a spy and moved to California and plays soccer. And like you can do that search and look for that project. Um, the other thing that we do is, regardless of your score, if you have an evaluation on the Blacklist website, you get to opt into any of the opportunities we have for fiction writers for free. For free. So you don't pay for anything else. So whether you got a 2, a 5, a 9, it does not matter. You can opt into any of those opportunities for free. So some of those opportunities include the Unpublished Novel Award, which is a grant of $10,000 that will go to one writer in 7 categories of fiction. You can opt into the Genre Films Partnership, which is by Simon Kinberg, who's most notable for The Martian.
Okay.
That's a 18-month, 25K TV film option. So you can opt in to be considered for that. You can be opt into consideration for the TV option with Onyx Collective, which is a subsidiary of Disney. And then we have 2 more that are being announced next month, which we're really excited about. So you can opt into those as well. The idea being you've paid for the evaluation. We're not in the business of making you pay for more things. You know how sometimes you get runner up in a contest and you're like, oh, so and so said this is great. Let me go pay for another contest. And then let me go pay for another contest. We're not doing that at the Blacklist. It's simply thank you. You paid for your evaluation. You got feedback. Hopefully that feedback is helpful as you start to revise your project even more. Here are some opportunities that you should be thinking about. They're free
Yeah.
to be considered. We don't do because all of the industry members are on the site. The other thing that we do is we send out newsletters. So whenever there's a project that gets a high score on a Monday, we send out all the projects from the past week that our readers were really loving, and we amp those up. On the TV film side, because the Blacklist has been around for 20 years, writers often will go, "Hey, my project got a 9. Can you look at it?" And so over time, we expect that writers will begin to do that too as the Blacklist fiction becomes more familiar in the book space. I'm sorry, I just talked for a very long time.
No, you're good. 'Cause I was gonna say that. I think there is obviously a symbiotic relationship where it's like if I got like you said, 7, 8, 9, I'm about to get. I might, one of the industry people are picking it up. I might also be like, hey, how do I get my film and TV rights kind of sought out after as well? Because now I know this story, if done correctly on this level and that level, could become a movie or a film. So I think that was you had given us enough right there. I kind of want to talk a little bit about like there's been a lot of genre mixing lately. Like you got romantasy, you got hockey lit. There's like a lot of these genres that are mixing, and you don't have to go into all the details, but I'm just curious, like what have you seen just from like the stories that are coming to you all about where the fiction space has evolved and where you think it's going in that sense.
I mean, there's definitely genre bending being submitted. There's romantasy being submitted. There's, like for all from all corners, historical YA, um, women's fiction with a fantasy touch to it. Like there it's coming from everywhere. And, some of that is because these writers have worked so hard on their stuff. They sent it out and they haven't heard anything. And so they're looking at other options. And that's what we're here for. We're here to be another option for you in that ecosystem of decisions. So yeah, we're seeing everything and I'm really excited about that. Also just writers from all corners and walks of life. Writers are allowed to include accomplishments and things that they've done, personal interests. They also can include professional experience. So if somebody was like a gardener or somebody was a scientist, like you can include that stuff too. Because sometimes agents are really interested in that as well.
Yeah, there's been like I've seen in the L magazine with a lot of these content creators that came through. They talked a little bit about the rise of indie authors. Like, does it make sense for someone that still wants to publish or self-publish their book to come through the blacklist, get a score, and then kind of move from there? Like, what do you think about for people that do want to still do self-publishing, but they want feedback from potential
Yeah.
industry?
Any because a self-published author retains the rights to their work, they can also host and get feedback. The only people that cannot upload to the site are people who have manuscripts that they don't own the rights to. So if, for instance, you had a manuscript with the big five, one of the big five, you can't and you sign a contract, you better not put that on the site because we don't hey, we not trying to get in trouble and I don't want you getting in trouble. So and so we tell writers that do not put that up on the site. But because self-published authors retain the rights to their work, absolutely you can get feedback. And you can also participate in some of those opportunities. Like the Unpublished Novel Award, no. But Simon Kinberg genre films, yes. Onyx Collective, yes.
If you enjoyed that clip, make sure you head over to www.bookupapp.com to download our app so you can connect with your favorite bookish content creators, start conversations, and start your own book club.